Hey guys, in this video we're going to be looking at JavaScript numbers and JavaScript math. We're going to be looking more at math. The numbers are pretty easy, but we're going to go into this pretty quick. So I'm just in a folder here, so I'm going to make an index.html file, and I'm using VS Code, so I'm just going to use a boilerplate, exclamation point, enter, and I'm going to create another file called math.js for our JavaScript, and then we'll just include this in our HTML document, math.js. Okay, so now that we have that, I'll just get my console loaded up here. So we'll do all of our math in here, and we'll be able to kind of look at it. So shrink this over just a little bit so we can look at it. So we have math.js. So what's a number? All we need to realize, we can do any number we need to. So const num equals 10, and then we can do console log num. We can do, if we do const, we can't reassign it. Num equals 5, it's going to give us an error. If we do let num equal 10, there we go, it's 5. That's numbers in a nutshell. It's just like every other programming language. Any number you need to. We're going to look more at manipulation of them, and we're going to use the console for everything. So let's do console.log. We're going to do functions here, standard functions. 1 plus 1 is 2. We're going to copy this a few more times. Do 3 minus 1 is 2. We'll do 2 times 1 should be 2. We'll do 2 divided by 1, which should be 2. And then we'll do 5 modulo 3. And that gives you the remainder. The remainder of this should be 2. So all of these are 2. So that's our basic math functions. And then we'll use our JavaScript math object. And that is going to give us a few different things that we can use that are really helpful. So we'll use the console again for all these, and we'll just do console log math.round. And that will do 1.7. That should give us 2. And then we'll do the same thing, math.round, and we'll do 2.1. So this will give us exactly what we're looking for, rounding whichever way you need to. We'll do floor and ceiling. So JavaScript has floor and ceiling, and that will give you the bottom. So if you do 2.9, it'll give you the lowest number down, so it's 2. If you do ceiling and you do 2.9, it'll do 3. So it just rounds up to the next whole number if you do ceiling, and rounds down to that whole number if it is the floor. So let's just do 2.9 should give us 2, and then we'll copy this and do math.ceiling or ceil, and we'll do this at 1.2. So this one rounds all the way down, and this one rounds all the way up to the next whole number. We have square roots and powers. So we can do console log math dot square root, and we can pass in 9, and this will give us 3. Square root of 9 is 3. We can do the same thing here, power, math.pow, and it's going to take in 2 arguments, the number and to which power you're going to go to. So this should give us 9 too. If we bump this up 3, it's going to give us 27. Pretty easy there. So standard math functions are available in the math object. So just so you know, the documentation is all in here if you ever need to know if you're looking for something, if you want to know the variable for pi, that's in there. Round, anything in here we'll look at. So let's look at absolutes. This will change anything from a negative to a positive. So console log math.abs, and we'll do -2, and that gives us a 2. We have a function called min and max. So we can do console log math.min, and we can put any numbers in that we want, and it'll give us the minimum and the maximum of this. So this is going to give us the minimum of 4,000, and we'll put the max in here, max of 10,000. So pretty good if you have a long array of numbers, you want to see what's the highest or lowest one. That one's really easy. We have a random number generator, so we'll console log math.random, and that'll give us a number between 0 and 1, which helps, doesn't really help, except we have a function that we know can help us that we looked at earlier. So math.floor of math.random should give us 0 all the time, and math.ceiling should give us 1 all the time, because if it's between 0 and 1, we just need to either go up and down. So math.ceiling, and then we just use some standard math for this. We'll do math.random times 100 if we want to go up to 100, because if it gives us a decimal in between this and we just multiply this by 100, we get 85.2, and it'll go to the ceiling. So this would be 86. So pretty easy if you want a random number between 1 and 100. Well, that's how you do it. If you need it to start at 0, then you just start at math.floor and go to 101, and it'll give you the same thing. So that's how you generate a random number. We obviously have trig functions, so we have math.cosine, math.sine, and math.tan. This will give you cosine, sine, and tangent. And then we also have a really great function as well called parseInt. And we'll look at this really quick. Let num equal 10. So we're just going to give it a string value of 10, and we'll console log num, and then we'll also log type of, which is a JavaScript description here that will tell us what this is. So num is a string because we put this in quotes. What we can actually do is num is equal to parseInt num. So let's do this. Console log num. Looks about the same. It's 10, but let's do type of num, and now we get number. So this is a great one. If you have a string where you need to separate the numbers from the letters, 10 points. Let's do console log num. So there we go. It will chop off any of these characters here, and it'll just give you 10, which is a number. It's a really great function to have, because if you have somebody who puts in a string for something, such as this, it'll just give you that number. So anything past that where a character starts, it'll just return a number for you. So it's a really nice function. That about sums up all the applications you have for the math object and any kind of number functions. I'm going to post this to my GitHub, and I'll post a link in the description. Please like, comment, or subscribe, and I hope you learned something about numbers today in JavaScript. Thanks for watching.